advertising for the show was actually quite good. Like the trailers, the way that they presented it was great. And then when people watched it, they're like, yeah, we kind of like this, but it's a little confusing and something's not right. And then it wasn't until after the series was canceled that the hardcore fans started to realize, oh, the episode order wasn't properly debuted. That's why.
But the movie didn't do well either. So
the movie was going to bomb. Everybody knew it was going to bomb coming out.
But that just basically told the studio, see, we were right to cancel it.
Yeah.
In fact, we wasted all this money on a movie that nobody came to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you got to remember those things. That's the way the studios look at it.
Yep.
It's breaking news. Live action Naruto movie is in the works at Lionsgate with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings director, scriptwriter, Destin Daniel tapped to write and direct.
Of the Marvel, then.
Oh,
because remember, he's the guy who was supposed to direct the Kang Dynasty. Then he dropped out. He was also supposed to do Shang-Chi Part 2, with him doing that instead now. That's going to keep him occupied for the next 2-3 years? That does not bode well for Shang-Chi, does it, script?
I will destroy this.
Nope.
Daily.
Listen, Dustin, good for him for getting another job. I still think he's still got a ways to go before he can really set himself apart. So hopefully he can get some headway with this thing over at Lionsgate. But yeah,
I agree.
Dave Callahan is probably not coming back to write any more Marvel films either. So.
I think you could do a live action show if you treat it like One Piece and do it right. But a movie for these just doesn't work. Like a Dragon Ball movie doesn't work. They're too long. How do you can't condense all of that into a movie?
Well, I mean, all you have to do is cut the charging up in all those episodes of Dragon Ball, and you might be able to get the filler stuff. But yeah, like certain genres or certain adaptations of these anime do require a little bit more of a long form story format. So yeah, that would probably be your best bet. One Piece was a fluke though, because I have the very original draft that Netflix picked up, and it's really close to the final product. Like they were never going to do a disservice to this show to begin with. It just slipped under the radar, I would suspect, with regards to the same people that worked on the other shows that have botched them. But yeah, we'll have to see how faithful he'll be over there, and we'll have to see what sort of new direction.
How much control does the original creator have over his shit? Because like Oda had some kind of agreement where he had to approve things.
It all depends on what kind of contract they have.
Yeah. So
the way that I saw it is that Oda had approval of the pitch for the OWA, which is the open writing assignment. So the people that wrote the One Piece script that got picked up wrote it under the parameters of their pitch fit with what Oda wanted. So that's how they got away with it, is the fact that he was kind of already involved on it. The people that wrote the script that they greenlit was the one that was already closest in line to how we wanted this show to be done live action. Whereas I think for the Cowboy Bebop, they didn't even include him in that initial stage
at all.
So
but he was involved pretty heavily with the
final product.
Oda was involved he was involved with the casting and a lot of stuff. I don't know if they seem to have at least respected what he had to say.
Well, that or he must have some kind of ownership over it in a sense that,
maybe.
Like, it all depends on if it's owned by a studio, if they have ownership in it, or if it's a co-ownership.
Even if it was just them giving him the respect he deserves.
Right. It could even be like
you would think that would be something that a lot of people would look at and say, well, okay, well, that worked for this. We should bring the original creators in and respect at least their advice
or at least fake it and then try to match it. Like that's the other part too. Hollywood used to fake respect of creators all the time, but at the same time they were like, we better not screw this up either. So even though we may not really respect them, we'll at least listen to what they have to say, and if it works, then we'll respect them. If it doesn't, okay, well then whatever. Like that used to be the old school mentality. But now it's like it's completely divisive, where they don't even bother to even earn that in some regards. And then in other regards, if they do it, it's usually by accident.
Yeah, somebody's saying in the chat he told them to do reshoots, and they apparently had to do it.
Well, then that means they may have some kind of ownership.
Reshoots if he.
Well, here's an example. like for years, MTV owned Beavis and Butthead lock, stock, and barrel, and they could do whatever the hell they want with it. And they did whatever they wanted to the point where they alienated Mike Judge, to where when they finally tried to work with him again, he's like, well, fuck you guys. Well, then they finally worked it out to where he has co-ownership now with MTV, and he can only do the voices and stuff like that basically now, or his approved people, I'm assuming. So basically, they can't really do anything without him anyway, even though they still co-own it. So that might be the situation with, the creator of One Piece, Odo, or whatever his name is, because he might have like a co-ownership with whatever company it is that he does it through, or he may have complete ownership. I have no idea what his, what the situation is with that. That's just an example, for instance. But like, Christian Garcia asks, is Matt Groening even involved in The Simpsons? Not really. He just gets checks. For that's it. And I bet he's kicking himself in the ass because the whole reason he created The Simpsons was because Fox called him in and Tracy Ullman wanted to use Life in Hell as little interstitials in between the commercials, and he panicked that he thought, well, if they own my characters, then I can never do anything again with them if I want to. So he quickly created The Simpsons while he was in the waiting room. They're just his family. And lo and behold, that's the thing that he's most well known for, and he probably is could be a lot more rich had he never done that in the first place. But,
well, sometimes you never know when life
exactly.
And it's like sometimes it's like the smallest, most insignificant of things. Like, for instance, you know that song from the Australian band Men at Work? Called Land Down Under, or just Down Under. You know how long that thing took to write? It was complete coincidence. Came together in 45 minutes.
Not surprised.
That's the best 45 minutes ever spent.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs like that. They're just throwaway songs. They end up being big, huge hits.
Yeah.
Like Jack and Diane from John Mellencamp. He never even wanted that to be a single, and that's his biggest.
Exactly. Speaking of huge hits, we're about to take one as Script Doctor, unfortunately, is leaving us.
But I just wanted to say before we move on there, Oda does own the full rights according to Mr. Tickle Trunk Yellow Flash. But anyway, what do you got going on Script?
I've got scripts on Saturdays tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. CC Karaoke is my co-host this week, so look forward to that. And then I'm back I'm doing development work right now, so it's taking up a bunch of my time, but I will be popping around as my schedule opens up for it. But in the meantime, thanks for having me on today, guys, and have a wonderful weekend.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There, you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe, and join us.